Hey everybody, I'm Captain Tommy Scoville, and you were on the lifeboat. A little shine on the dome. There we go. There you go. There you go. Welcome to the lifeboat, everybody. If you notice the thumbnail, a little vague on the thumbnail tonight, from time to time, you find yourself in a unique position. Wait a second. No, you're not. You know what? This is a good icebreaker right here. But SP, TB, Tattoo Warrior, may have to slightly amend the... It's actually getting a lifeboat tattoo today. How cool is that? Honestly, seriously, how cool is that? One of those things that just blows your mind. Absolutely blows your mind. From time to time, I'm going to find myself here without the ability to have a full, have a program ready to go. Both anybody that you have sit in this chair is going to have good days, bad days. You're going to get sick out of the blue, right? You're going to get the C+ math and be out for a week, or whatever the case may be. And it's usually on short notice. And I used to, back in the day, I used to actually keep like one show in the can, some generic thing that I could just pop out and start doing. Now, though, it's just as much fun to just sort of pop in and out of the comment section. Although I'll tell you something, when I do that, so I'm going to actually link on and do something, because when I do that, the people that watch it down the road, right now, I want nothing to do with the show, and you can't really blame them because it's just kind of choppy, and I'm. Lummy was doing had a new instant premiere up. I was over there on Lummy Audicha. So he's back in business. That is so awesome. That really is. We're going to want to see pictures immediately when that is done. Wow, that is awesome. That really is. That is awesome. Carousel Delirium makes the live. The Carousel Delirium has been a very busy person of late, which is just kind of the deal. You know what I mean? We all go through that. The beautiful thing is we put up enough content that if you're one of those people that really benefits from, hey, Just Ruth, look at you. Good to see you. I love Just Ruth. You're a great girl. Thank you. Good to see you. I'm so glad that you're here, man. That is awesome. Let's see something. Hello, Captain and crew. Okay. I'm just making sure that I'm not really, you know what? I get behind people, and it's because I don't want to miss anybody. I really don't. I don't want to miss anybody, but hey, Nick. That would be my man, Nick. Anik Alexander, good to see you. So I got to take care of a couple of misconceptions. I talk about this on more than one show, so I know it probably seems like I'm beating a dead horse, but what you got to kind of remember is that anything we do here, there's a group of you that sees every show, which is awesome, right? You're the reason that there's a lifeboat, carried it through the dark days. But the people who are here every day, know exactly what's going on, and sadly they have to hear me repeat myself, right? When I do 2 or 3 shows in a that I repeat a theme over the course of 2 or 3 months, and the people on the boat are going, oh man, he's beating that to death. I mean, how many of these have we heard? Every day I've got people watching this that have never seen it before, and that's the reality these days, and that's a great reality. Right now we have a really high percentage of people that are seeing our videos that are not subscribers. And that's awesome. That's a good thing to have, right? It means that people are getting to check out what we have. And when people come over here and can get a look at what you do, yeah, that's exactly right. Everybody here sort of leans on one another. It's a beautiful thing. It really is. It's an absolutely beautiful thing. Tommy Bird, good to see you. He's tired. I'm tired as hell and worn out after a barbecue day with the family. Pretty sure it's where, oh yeah, well, I mean, that's the problem is that you turn around And instantly, hey V, good to see you. And instantly, you're like, what the hell happened in the last 30 years? You know, I absolutely woke up old, and then everything starts falling apart, and it starts falling apart on you right around. For some people, it might be 45. I've heard some other guys say that, early 50s. Oh, nice. But for me, I think it was honestly like right around 47, 48. It just went all of a sudden. I'd look at a book to read it, and I wouldn't be able to catch the words anymore. All of a sudden, I'm doing this number, right? And you're holding it way back here, trying to get anything to focus. Oh, that is so awesome. They're going to be listening to the boat while she's getting. I love that. I really do. Hi, Kelly. My boy's coming home from rehab Wednesday. Can't believe it's been a month. How awesome is that? Hey, Andrew. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Yeah, we really have the gang is all here. Okay, I heard a concept that I really like. I really did. I was listening to somebody else talking about 41. There you go. It was 48. Oh, yeah, that's about the right time. For those of us that journal, and it's a huge part of what we do, right? I'm not going to beat that to death. You have to journal, right? I'm not going to beat you over the head with that tonight. But if you don't journal, you're not going to hit the level of success that you want. And that's the reality. I recommend that you do it in the morning and at night. However, I heard someone today that said they use the night journaling and they start their day the previous evening. So before they kick off at night, they're going to do the bit of a dump or whatever. But the last thing that they're going to write down is everything that they intend to accomplish in the morning. And then when this individual wakes up in the morning, he does all right, you know what? This one, not very realistic. This one got a 50-50 shot. These two here, I probably can pull off. And he sort of organizes it, uses different colors and everything else. But I think this is a beautiful concept for so many of us that haven't been the, make a list kind of person. We haven't been the kind of people that, sit down and chart out the week so that we can get the most done. If you've been getting high every day for years, you probably haven't been doing that, right? You're journaling the night before and writing down first thing in the morning, probably going to go get some drugs, might have to hit a store and steal some things. My husband is stuck in Anchorage trying to get to Valdez and the flight got canceled. He won't be able to fly out until Tuesday. Please send love, wisdom, and good vibes, please. He's ready to leave. You know what? That's terrible. And we'll toss some ones out for that. This is happening to everybody. Every time somebody travels these days. I think everyone's noticing it. This is not in my head, but anybody that's flying anywhere, you got a 50-50 shot of not getting off the ground. I swear to you, my brother Johnny, there's nobody on earth that has a worse time flying than my brother. He gets bumped or his flight gets canceled. He has a 6-hour layover instead of an hour layover. That's just the reality of my brother. Kelly C, good to see you. He's committed to 90 meetings in 90 days. That's awesome. That really is. That's a huge deal. That's something I was just telling somebody today about the 90 and 90. And you know what? The people that say, "Well, I'll try," you commit to it. You commit to doing the 90 and 90, and it gives you the best chance for success. You're taking a period of time every single day and dedicating it to what your mission is, to what your goal is. I'm going to go and spend at least 1 hour every single day concentrating on my ability to stay sober. People are going to call me on my BS. Those groups are, when you go to a group in rehab, it's a little different than this because we'd all be sitting in a circle in the middle of a room. And, what makes this really nice, that anonymity, so you don't have to feel like people are staring at you. It also makes it a little tougher to call people on their BS. You know what I mean? When you're in a room and you see somebody go, no, and they can't look you in the eye as they're telling you the next lie that comes out of their mouth. You see people called on their BS all the time in group, especially like rehab group, and it's ugly. They don't care. I think it's healthy, to be really honest with you. I really do, but it's going to be tough to do here. Scripture and AM journal, nice. Yeah, I really like the idea of busting out a to-do list the night before. Sorry, just catching some of these. My dog is having trouble grabbing the low compression tennis balls. Oh, the dead ones, huh? The no fun ones. Well, it's about time. All right, people, we can start all over again. Right? Let's take this from the top. I've been talking about you the whole time. Honestly, I did talk about you. I'm trying to remember what I said about him. Somebody in the audience tell me what I said about my brother. Oh, you miss every single airplane. Not necessarily you, but I mean, you get screwed in air travel every single time you fly. That is the reality of being my brother. Question: is there meetings in prison? Real question. I don't know. Patricia, there is. There are a lot. I'll be honest with you. There are a lot of opportunities to go to meetings in prison. However, I would say about half of them are not sanctioned. In other words, they're just inmates that decided to put stuff together. Most people gravitate toward those, but there are some structured things in there as well. Then there's politics, because you're going to be put in there with people that you probably don't want to be in the same room with, rival gangs, all kinds of things. It doesn't work out very well. But yeah, there's a lot of group. There's not a lot of treatment with people working one-on-one with you and that kind of stuff. But groups, yeah, there's tons of groups. Yeah. And it's a good thing, because you're in deep, deep trouble. What happens when the heat chases you? You know what? The heat's been chasing me since I was about 4. Actually, we're closer to the now than we've ever been. But when we were younger, we went through it. I should have you on again. Probably get my brother on this week. Too much sun, premature aging. No questions. A lot of truth to that. There is a lot of truth to that. And what's funny is, like, I remember my dad went and he was getting some skin cancers cut off, and he said to the guy, "I don't know how this could happen. I don't remember the last time I got a sunburn." He's like, I have no idea how that possibly could have happened. Hold on. I bet every illegal cartel is what? Oh, repped. Yeah, you know what? Here's the deal with that. Yes and no. I could do an entire show on that. Oh, well, that's kind of cool. They broke up a Fent meth ring. Got like 22 people in Indiana. That's good. Honestly, I'm not rooting for these people to get busted for the most part, but the poison that they're pushing, the Mexican mafia is well represented inside, very well represented inside, and you hear people talk constantly about how they're affiliated with this cartel or that cartel. I know that some of it's probably just. I know that it's probably just bravado in some cases, because everybody's trying to look tough, but yeah, there's something to that. Sorry. Yeah. Andrew. Back to work for me. I'll be listening to the phones. Okay, so the I'm going to get Johnny on this week. As I told everybody, we ordered some Sistroming. I'm thinking first week in September. Right, first week in September, we're going to bust out the foul fish. Probably going to make an arrangement or two for some victims to bring in on this. Right, there's something about eating that foul stuff that you really need to bring somebody in each time that hasn't been exposed to it before, because that look of shock, that moment of, oh my Lord, what is that smell? That's worth the price of admission. It is voted, I think, top 3 worst smelling foods. I don't know about, taste and all that. I can't remember tasting anything that I thought honestly was worse. It's pretty ugly stuff. Your birthday's in the first week. Boy, if you lived closer, that would be great. Kelly C, we have one up. I would not recommend going and looking at any of those that we do. The milk one, probably another good one to avoid. Let's just say that there's about 3.3 seconds of that video that is tough to watch. Sounds great though, just an amazing noise. First week in September. Oh, nice. My arrest video. You're going to be able to release that? Very cool. James Novak, good to see you. Danny Masterson is being sentenced. That's right. He's getting hemmed up in end of the first week. End of the first week. Your past is not your potential. In any hour, you can choose to liberate your future. Cali law stipulates somewhere that hearsay can be used in hearings. You know what? I don't know that would surprise me. The Ninth Circuit is just, it's as crazy as anything out there. It really is. Oh, look, fish. I've heard a lot of people talk about just how nasty that is as well. I'm sorry, people, but my throat, I'm starting to really get the throat thing. Canned tuna. Oh, Lene, I don't think we're on the same page. Yeah, tuna's got an odor, but we're not talking about the same thing. If you get close enough to that can to actually sort of give it a really good, sort of waft it toward you and let some of that, smell get up, it's almost impossible to not do the, like that thing where the gag reflex in the back of your throat hits. Yeah. Are you a private eye? That's a great comment. Tommy Bird says, James Novak, are you by chance a private eye? That just sounds right. James Novak, private eye. There really is something to that. Oh, that is funny. Pickled herring. Well, this is this stuff that this is stroming is Baltic herring, right? But as opposed to pickling it, they put this in a weaker version of brine, and it's not fermented fish. It is fermenting fish. Oh yeah, it is still in the process of rotting inside the can. Where's Chase the Heat? Is he still there? Whatever. You know, sometimes it's nice to have Johnny around, and then sometimes not. Dennis, you got the, you're saying the hairline's backing up a little bit? He says everyone has a 4-head. I have a 5-head or a 6-head. Okay. Oh, it's not Baltic herring. Okay, well then help me out, Johnny. What is the stuff that's still fermenting inside the can? It's Satan with scales. You know, how did I not know that? I feel like we've discussed this in the past. I apologize. I'm eating Marmite on toast right now. Delicious. Each to their own. Here's the thing, Kelly. I'm not saying that fish tastes good. Oh, I promise you. In fact, yeah, I don't think anybody in this country has ever said that out loud. Dennis, nothing wrong with going bald. It's all about being realistic. You know, come to grips with it and say, I'm probably going to be bald at some point in my life. You know, maybe I should just try giving it a little bick and see if I look good. Give it a shot. What do you got to lose? See, I used to grow it out and I had the receding thing and I started looking like, like the bald mullet. You know, I was almost pulling it back into a ponytail. In prison, I actually was. I had it in a ponytail, but it was really thin on top. And then I looked in the mirror one day and looked remarkably like Dr. Phil. And I thought, that's it, man. I'm done. I can't look like Dr. Phil. Sorry. Just got yours cut. I'm telling you, man, get a razor. Oh, I do remember that. Every once in a while, someone will shave a head and you'll look at them and just go, oh, dude, on the good side, 4 or 5 weeks, that'll grow out. Morton, good to see you. Yeah. Let me say he shaved his head with a Bic once and it's growing back like the wolf man. You know, inside the federal system, when you're going through like Oklahoma City or you're going through Atlanta or any of the transfer centers, the razors they give you, they're little red ones and they call them skeleton razors because when you look at them from the side, there's a lot cut out, right? So that they're not solid. But it's just a blade and a handle and it's about this long. And it is the worst made razor ever. I buzzed my head once on a dare. I kept it for 2 years. My hair was down to my waist. Wow. That's huge. But you know what? Sinead O'Connor, God rest her soul, I think gave a lot of women from our generation kind of where they felt like they could pull that off. Like it was all right. You know, Miss V knows what she's talking about. Did you see that? She said bald men are sexy. And that woman knows what she's talking about. I saw Johnny shave his head in the shower. Yeah, you know what? I remember that. When Ace comes into the chat, he'll probably say, Miss Sylvie sent me. That's me. All right. Nice. Does your stash always grow in that thick right away? This one? My mustache is, look, I'll tell you something about my mustache. If you go back and look at live feeds, say going back, I don't know, maybe a month or 2, maybe 3, I hit it with a clipper. Like I took this down to, I left hair there, but I took it down to nothingness, right? I mean, I just literally just took it down and it comes back like that. You're a butcher. Oh, man. Sinead was a pioneer, no question. Butchers, to me, that is a dying art because people that are good at it, the difference for what that can make with what you're eating. He's got to go. Be safe, my friend. Don't you gotta have other family blood? Sorry, people. I was getting a little lost. In basic training, I saw a GI get kicked in the stomach in front, leaning a real, hold on, in front leaning rest position, and have to shave with a cheap razor. Come on. Come on. It's just not going to let me ever look at that again. So I don't know what happened. In basic training, I saw a GI. Oh, that was first scraped on the concrete. Oh, that is the sickest thing I've ever heard in my life. That really is. That is the sickest thing I have ever heard in my life. We have such a good butcher shop in Spokane. You know, if the difference between meat that's cut well and meat that's not, it's night and day. It really is. You get a good butcher that knows what they're doing and sort of like marbles, you know, the outside of that with fat just perfectly. It just makes it taste so much better. You know something? This is kind of funny. I got to put this up here. And I would like to be able to see it also, but I guess that's not going to happen. He says that's not nearly as impressive unless you have two brothers who are both a baker and a freaking candlestick maker. I want to tell you something. I'm not even joking. Two of my friends died in the last year and a half, guys that I grew up with from the same town that I grew up in. We grew up in a very small town, right? And at one time in this little woolen mill at the bottom of the hill that from where I lived, there's a short little ride down to this woolen mill. But in there, they had, there was a bakery in there, there was a butcher shop in there, and there was a candle, guys that made candles. And we had three friends that hung out that all worked, and no lie. We had the baker, the butcher, and the candlestick maker. Like we really did. It was the funniest thing. I didn't have a job there though. I had a real job. I really did. I was making a lot of money back then. Legitimately. If I had stuck with that, probably had a much different life. But I was making cabinets. I was a cabinet maker at a young age. Yeah, I love it. A good butcher is incredible. It's a skill. It really is. It is a skill. You know, I don't know how I feel about that one, Lemmy. Oh, I apologize, my man. I really do. See, my theftage back in the day, I never took anybody into account. But yeah, I mean, I think about stuff like that. I really do. I think about it now. Like, how many times I don't know if my brother's still on here, but we had the cordwood. We used to do the cordwood carry out, where we would carry out enough steak to feed a small army or a family of 7 for about 3 months. There's my brother. Oh, that's another science, man. Yeah, I love venison. I know there are people that don't like hearing that because it sounds like you're bumping off Bambi or whatever, but Bambi tastes really good. I don't know if you've ever given that a try, but Bambi is tasty. There's not much you can do about that. Terry King, good to see you. Glad that you're here. Johnny says, I did a lot of horrible things. Yeah, like 6 days a week. I like making stuff with venison. I'm just a big fan of it. I think it was last year. probably, yeah, about a year ago, right around this time, Johnny came out to visit, and we had somebody made us venison jerky, and it was, um, obviously because my brother brought it with him, it was going to hurt me, but it backfired because it wasn't as nearly as hot as it should have been. I mean, it was still really hot, kind of did my stomach in, but it tasted fantastic. Forget Bambi elk is way better. You know what? I'll give that a shot. I'm sure I've had elk. I just don't remember specifically. I found I've had it all. I've had it. Don't care much for it. I like a lot of exotic things I've tried though, and I want to try more stuff. I'm one of those people too. Like I've eaten some pretty weird stuff in my life. I'm not huge on eating stuff that I know in advance is going to be disgusting. I mean, obviously, the systroming is something that you do for views because it's funny as hell and it makes for really funny stuff. Oh, that's funny. Valerie says my dad used to tell random people he was a stripper. He was a carpenter and stripped wood a lot. A random thing in this conversation. No, that's funny though. And you know something? You should throw out something like that happens from your past. There's a reason, right? You get triggered. Get that out, put it out there, and it allows your brain to start thinking about things from your past, right? In a very unthreatening and innocuous way. And those little memories sometimes can lead to absolute discoveries. He said, bunny rabbit is delicious too. You sick. No, to be really honest with you, there's something about rabbit. It's pretty tasty. Yeah, we had a mutual friend, Johnny and I, that looked quite a bit like a shark. He was one of those dudes that had kind of strange positioning of his. Oh, nice. Yeah, journal time, perfect. This guy kind of had his eyes were kind of on the side of his dome. You know what I mean? He looked slightly like. But I remember him. He would tell people that he worked for the FBI and the CIA, right? Or that he had just finished training with the FBI and the CIA, and it was actually the Culinary Institute of America, right? Is the CIA, and the Food and Beverage Institute or something like that. It's the Institute of Food and Beverage, somewhere along those lines. But he told everybody that, and then he would proceed to bust out some cards that said he was a chef. One of the funniest experiences ever. Little drug story, real fast, because it was really funny. This guy wanted some psilocybin fungus, and I happened to know somebody that always had it. So I told somebody who told somebody, and he called me and he said, "Hey, can you get me the fungus?" I said, "Sure." He's like, "Can you get me like maybe an ounce of it or half? How does he do it?" I said, "Sure, I get you a half ounce." I got it for him and I dropped it off, right? And as I'm there, he's eating a few caps, doing whatever, and it's all good, right? About 2 hours later, I get a phone call from him. And now it's a very short staccato. He's no longer talking in full sentences. It's the, hey, Tommy. I'm like, hey, what's going on? No, those are way too strong. I said, what? He's like, I'm not having fun. They're way too strong. I said, oh, no, I'm sorry. Maybe next time just back off a little bit and don't eat as much. He's like, nah, man, can you unload these? I said, what? He goes, anybody that might want to buy them? I'm trying to sell them. I don't want them. I was like, in the middle of a bad trip, you made a phone call to try to unload a bag of shrooms that were too strong. You really are a little cheap. You know what I mean? That's a guy that cares a little bit too much about money. That's funny. You merged the meat and the stripper conversation. I don't even want to know what's happening with that. Chris says, oh no, possum. Chris, you were necking possum? I don't. I honestly don't know anybody that took possum and actually ate that. Like, if you've ever seen one of those up close, oh, I know. If you were around, like if you were here, we could do a podcast just on him. We could do a podcast just on, I don't know how I could, the guy that whose house we always used to go to grab our stuff. I thought calamari were tiny onions. Nope, that didn't work out. Onion rings. They were a little too chewy the first time, huh? Yeah, squid's a bit chewy. It really is. It's a bit chewy. Yeah, I mean, we have the cast of characters. It makes me think, Johnny. The guy that came up with like Nathan Detroit and Sky Masterson and Pete the Horse, all of those guys, that was Damon Runyon, and he was just writing about those. But he swore up and down that every one of those people existed. He just started to write things down about them. Oh yeah, I love oysters. I weep for you. I deeply sympathize. Oh, I've enjoyed your company much more than you realize. Yeah, that was a joke for nobody. Unless you're really a fan. Maybe you might know that one. Oysters with lots of hot sauce. There you go. There is a poem from Alice in Wonderland called The Curious Oysters, right? And it's pretty funny. Yeah, see, Johnny got it. Sadly, I think Johnny and I truthfully do share a brain, which I don't know, sometimes makes for great content because you don't have to sort of plan, like when Johnny and I film, we don't sit down and go, all right, well, you're going to talk first and then I'll talk and then you can talk. It's never anything like that. You just, in fact, I promise you, when the two of us hang out, it's exactly the same for the entire time we hang out. And then just at some point, the camera will be turned on, but that's really how we are at all times. I promise you. He eats hot stuff around the clock. Hey, Luke Skywalker, good to see you. All right, people, you know what? My dad taught me and my brother to throw hatchets. I guess I was late to the dad story. Yeah, but you were ahead of the time because now every bar in America, every city's got a bar that lets drunk people throw hatchets, right? What could possibly go wrong? How did I get insurance for those places? Yeah, we are distant twins. There's really something to that. Yeah. Crab, shrimp, lobster, nothing but water bugs. That's okay. I like water bugs. Totally cool with that. See that? Her husband found a ride to Valdez. Oh, thank God. That's awesome. Oh, well, then you should take the super hot peppers. Lemmy, you'll love that. Yeah, those are really good stuff. All right, people. I know that this is before the top of the hour, but this thing is starting to give me the business, and I am really hoping and praying that Heather's feeling better tomorrow. If not, people, we're going to put up as much content as we can get up, but I'm definitely putting my mask on first. All right. I promise you. Yes. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate that. Greg F., thank you, man. The only bar in our town my husband hasn't been in except to make it a rest, not a family. Yeah, but that's cool. Seagull. What did I miss? Because I'm not very bright. Really not. It's so hard to keep up. It really is. Because the stuff's just flying by. You know what? Here's the thing. I don't feel bad. I don't want anyone thinking that. I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad at all. I just have I kind of have a sore throat. But that's just from talking all day. I don't think I have a sore throat. But, cemetery, try to make it back before 3 months. Maybe cut it down to 45 days. Maybe cut it down to a week and just pop in every other week to say hello. I don't know. I think that sounds good. But I do appreciate the fact that you always do stop by and let us know how you're doing. In all honesty, that means a lot. If people leave the boat, a lot of times, if somebody's gone for an extended period of time, they don't reach out to you. And as much as you like to reach out to every single person that's not somewhere and say, "Hey, what's going on with you? How you doing?" It's hard because every day there's new people that are coming in, and it's a job that tends to get booked up pretty quickly. Ideally, this thing would be run with like 3 or 4 secretaries for real, that just organized and took care of stuff. Because, damn, honey for a sore throat's a great idea, and I'm a huge fan of honey. So, do you know where most of the honey in the U.S. comes from? It comes from Utah. Utah is the beehive state. A lot of honey. Yep, a lot of honey. Good skiing, greatest snow on earth, and a ton of honey. And they're famous for something else, but I can't exactly remember what it was anymore. No. Donnie and Marie. There we go. Donnie and Marie. See that? And you thought the old gray matter wasn't what it used to be. No, I'm in good shape. All right, everybody. Have a good night, would you please? And I'll see some of you tomorrow morning. All right. I'm Captain Tommy. See you on the next boat. Between now and then, reach out and try to save somebody. It's the right thing to do. God bless.